Android users, you can now have TYT in the palm of your hand. Our TYT app is available for download in the Google Play Store. Just go to tyt.com/app to find out more.
Donald Trump's attacks earlier this week against his own Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, actually led to the AG putting out a statement in defense of himself in the way that he is running that department. So I want to run quickly through this timeline. So it started off with Donald Trump, both in Twitter and also on Fox News attacking him. Here he is on Fox News.
Even my enemies say that Jeff Sessions should have told you that he was going to recuse himself, and then you wouldn't have put him in. He took the job, and then he said, I'm going to recuse myself. I said, what kind of a man is this?
And he stresses that he only wanted him for loyalty, and why isn't he protecting me? He is admitting that he needs protection.
Yep.
And he doesn't seem, he's too stupid to understand that. But because they can't simply call each other, he goes on Fox News, then the AG has to put out a statement, in part saying, while I am Attorney General, the actions of the Department of Justice will not be improperly influenced by political considerations. I demand the highest standards, and when they are not met, I take action. I don't really trust any of that, but that's his response to Donald Trump. Is that going to be the end of it? Of course that's not going to be the end of it, and Donald Trump has kept up his pressure on the AG after that, including with these statements. He actually quotes part of what Jeff Sessions said, quote, Department of Justice will not be improperly influenced by political considerations. Jeff, this is great, what everyone wants. So look into all the corruption on the other side, including deleted emails, Comey lies and leaks, Mueller conflicts, blah, 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 the stuff you hear about on Hannity every night. Let's see, he goes on, just goes on to the next one. Just goes on Christopher Steele, the Clinton Foundation, aliens from Mars, illegal surveillance, Russian collusion by Dems, because Russian collusion doesn't exist except by the Dems, and so much more. Open up the papers and documents without redaction. Come on, Jeff, you can do it. The country is waiting.
Nobody is saying this to him. If you have watched, I'll give you just 3 Law and Order episodes, okay? It doesn't take anything, just 3 Law and Order episodes. You know that if you essentially worked for the campaign, you cannot lead an investigation into it. That's not, nobody is saying he shouldn't have recused. Nobody is saying that. I haven't seen anything. I've seen one person
Sean
say
Hannity,
that.
I would assume.
Yeah. So even sycophants like Lindsey Graham. So Lindsey Graham today, because he's just the worst of the worst, flipped and was like, well, I mean, this is untenable with Sessions and Trump fighting all the time. So I guess Jeff should consider stepping down. Oh, you're the worst. You're the worst. But even he said, well, I mean, he should have recused himself. To Brooke's point,
he's
like he can't quite get him to say he shouldn't have recused himself because Lindsey Graham was a lawyer, and he said like any lawyer would know you have to recuse yourself. But okay, but I have to kiss Donald Trump's ass because I really want us to invade Iran. So, but Sessions should step down. So there are people who are trying to protect him politically, like Lindsey Graham, Sean Hannity, other guys like Gates, the Republican congressman who'll say anything for him. But overall, everyone, including most of the Republicans, go, no, of course he should have recused himself. Not only was he part of the campaign, he lied about meeting with the Russians in his testimony to Congress. Jeff Sessions did. That's part of the reason why he had to recuse himself.
I want to steal a line from Jordan Uhl and say, if Trump does fire Jeff Sessions, please don't start a GoFundMe for Jeff Sessions.
Oh, right.
The love of God.
That's awesome. Last thing that I want to point out here that's important. The tweet that John read to you guys, he quotes Sessions saying, I will not be improperly influenced by politics. Then he says, that's great. Then he says, investigate the other side, which is—
let me influence you, sir.
Influence you based on politics. He literally says, investigate the other side.
Yeah.
The other side is not something other than politics. He means the other side of politics, the Democrats.
And the thing is, there was a period where the IRS supposedly being unfair to conservative organizations was all the proof you needed as a conservative that the entire government under the Democrats was systematically biased against conservatives. Eventually we found out that it wasn't actually going on. They were being super hard on libs too. But that was all it took. Here you have the president saying it. I have a long list of political enemies, or at least people that Hannity says are my political enemies. I don't really know who they are because I don't do the research, but I want you to look into every single one of them. Imagine if Barack Obama had done that. Here are all the nonprofits and all the PACs on the conservative side that I want you to go after, and he was like adding Holder on Twitter, like, can you imagine how their heads would have exploded? But again, we get used to this stuff. And if there's obstruction of justice, but it's in public, we assume, I guess he's just being weird on Twitter.
You're so right, John. I forgot about the context of the IRS. The IRS investigation, they claimed the IRS looked into a couple of conservative groups. We found out later they'd actually looked into more liberal groups. But IRS, and they were not wrong to look into those groups. They had to actually do an investigation. It was perfectly normal. And the conservatives lost it. Here, the president is saying, I want you to go after my political opponents, the other side. I want you to target him. And he's saying it in public. Right. If Obama had told Holder, I want you to attack Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan and all my political opponents, and not just attack them politically, but prosecute them.
Yeah.
And here, the MAGA guys are like, yeah, that's right. The government should do political investigations of their opponents. That makes sense in a democracy.
How dare you? They are CAG now.
Is that right? What is CAG?
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
America great.
Oh, no.
CAG.
Okay.
Okay, it's just when you thought it can't get any sadder. It goes another level of sadness.
Never miss another TYT video by ringing the bell below. You'll get notified whenever we publish something new. And don't forget to join TYT and download the TYT Plus app today. Download the TYT Plus app on your phone or head over to tyt.com/join.